Hey guys, this is Shodredux here, and I'm going to go over with you my basic loadout for the Recon class on Battlefield Play4Free, because I know a lot of you have been asking me what I normally play and what I put my training points in and such like that. So I'm making this video to show you currently what I have my loadout set up as. Just to go over briefly what my weapon setup is, I have my primary weapon set up as my Elite's version M24, and my secondary is my Rex pistol. Also, I have my tracer dart set up as the number 3 key, and I also have my 4th mouse button set up for my surveillance, and my 3rd mouse button for my knife, and my middle mouse button is my motion mine. With all the training points that I have right now, I am currently level 21, so I mostly have all my training points in the combat expertise side. So the first thing I like to stack them in is the advanced reconnaissance. The only reason why is because I like to spot out my enemies when I actually go through and play normally and not just doing my video commentaries. Which, the other good thing about it is if I spot one enemy and he has a group of them around him that are hidden somewhere else, it'll spot them also if I stack all my points into that. Also, the next thing I like to set up with is my tactical target selection. What this essentially does is it gives me the status of the target's health that I'm aiming at, so that way I know how much health he has and whether or not I should make the shot on the enemy a headshot or a body shot. Preferably though, I always go for the headshot whenever possible. The next aspect that I invest a lot of my training points in is the tactical threat awareness. What this essentially does is if an enemy fires at me and hits me, I will know where they're at for a short period of time, so if I look around real quick, it'll be able to show me where the enemy's specifically at. So I like to max this out whenever possible. Also, the next two coming up are what I like to stack in first when I unlock the tier 2 tree. I usually like to have the physical training for the jog and the physical training for the running maxed out first, so that way I have speed on my side to be able to get out of certain scenarios as fast as I can, and making myself not an easy target to hit. As soon as I unlock the tier 3 tree, this one is a really big one. Combat infiltration. I personally like this one the most because it makes me undetected on the radar no matter what, and I'm not easily spotted. So I'm pretty much a ghost on the radar, and I'll be able to free roam the entire environment without being caught or spotted. Even though there'll be many others using that same tactic, that still doesn't stop me from having combat surveillance. The reason why I like to have this is so I know where my enemy's at, regardless if they're recon or not. So that way I can always have the drop on my enemies whether they're coming around the corner or if they're all the way across the map sniping me. I'll be able to take them out just because I know where their position's at on the map, and I'll be able to line up my sniper shot accordingly. Finally, for the combat expertise side, I like to use the physical training toughness, and I like to max this out. The reason why is even though it gives you a little bit of additional health to your character, it still helps you in the long run, mainly because if somebody's making body shots at you, you can survive just a little bit longer, and it kind of helps to have that extra 10% health. To explain briefly the reasons why I use the Elite's version M24 sniper rifle is because it scopes quick, has the largest ammo capacity for a bolt-action sniper rifle, which means more chance of headshots per clip for me. Also, it's a lot easier to gauge the bullet drop with this sniper rifle I find than any of the other ones. Coming up here, you'll notice a quick example of me playing on Basra and using the surveillance. I actually activated it right there, and you'll notice that I see an enemy behind the wall. I line up my shot, and I get a quick scope to the head. Even though I like my M24, sometimes I can't seem to get the job done with it alone. So I'll use my handy Rex pistol to take care of the rest of the grunt work, in case enemies come in too close, or if I'm not able to make a headshot and can only make a quick body shot. You can always do a 1-2 combo, meaning if you just make a body shot with the M24 at medium to closer ranges, you can easily switch back to your Rex pistol, pop off a single shot at your enemy, and take them out quite effectively. Not to mention that the Rex pistol's precision is really high, and it does make a great substitute if you run out of ammo and find yourself in a bit of a bind before reloading your M24. Now, just to give you a really good example of how everything works in one fell swoop, of course, I start off using the M24 here and make off with a couple headshots, which is really good. But however, I do find myself in a bit of a bind where I have to go through and keep the enemies pushed back. So the M24 makes a good primary weapon to be able to continue to make, good shots at your enemies. And as you can see right there, that enemy, I noticed he only had a little bit of health, so I decided to go for a body shot to take him out. Now as I stop right here, I decide to use the surveillance system to find out where the enemies are at on the map. Well, unfortunately for my teammate, he's dead, but I know where the enemy's at. Pop off a quick headshot and get him. Of course, the next guy I know is going to be further up. I decide to go through and try and take him out instead. He's a little bit too close for my sniper rifle to make my shot, and kind of in a bit of a danger zone, so of course I switch to my Rex, pop off a quick headshot on the first guy, and go to the second guy and pop off a couple rounds and get him. Now just to briefly explain my spotting technique, I miss the first shot, but then I spot the second guy following him, which reveals his position and that guy, as well as a couple others in the spawn point. If you look at the map, you'll notice he's about ready to come around the fence here in the corner, and of course I'll be able to take him out with one shot, because I know his position, and I also know his friends hiding around the fence there, so I take him out with one shot with the Rex as well. Of course, now that you guys know that I like to keep my Recon character strictly Recon with my training points, how I have them set up, as well as my weapon loadout. That doesn't mean I sit back and camp all the time like some stereotypical snipers. Well, that's all I got. Stay tuned, guys, and keep subscribing, because I'm going to have some pretty awesome videos here in the future, and just keep on the lookout, alright? Love, peace, and chicken grease.